Alright guys, it's time that we go on and get started. So, 皆さんこんばんは。皆さんこんばんは。今日は5月10日、5月10日ですよ。そして今日は新しい文法、2つあります。There are two new grammar points that we will be learning today. So let me make sure that my volume is loud enough so that you can hear me. I hope you guys are hearing me okay. If you are in chat, let me know if it's too quiet or if I do need to make the volume louder or anything. So, 皆さんこんばんは。こんばんは。I am ちょっと遅くです。I am a little bit late today. And that's okay. I had to set up and I'm prepared because I apparently some of you guys like to make me drown, so I had to make sure I had plenty of tea and that I have plenty of water. So I am prepared for the intake of fluids. that could be taken badly too. So last time when we were here in our Japanese class, we were on session 26. We're currently on session 27. Can you believe it? 27 Japanese lessons. And we're basically almost done. I was actually panning out, and I think we have today's lesson. And, well, I mean, hi. Hello, Alaska the Cat Fox. Welcome in. So I'm panning out, and I think we have today's lesson, Wednesday's lesson, and honestly, I think Wednesday may be the last lesson. Wednesday may be the final lesson I do of Japanese for this Japanese 1 setup. And then I take a break, and then we come back for Japanese 2, if anyone is interested in that. And I think that time off, maybe that 2... maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month off of teaching may give newcomers the opportunity to catch up. So for those of you that are new, welcome to the Tiger's Den. Today is session 27 of the Tiger Sensei Japanese class. We're currently working on Tei form, and I did want to review Tei form before we get any further. So, as a quick review, we use Tei form so that we can make requests in Japanese, to give and ask permission, which is what we will learn how to do today. We also use it to state something that is forbidden. We will learn how to say this today as well. Our final lesson we may use for creating a sentence to describe 2 or more activities and events. That will be one of the final things we do because the other grammar points may not. I don't think they're going to take that much time. Let me double check. Did we do counting? I don't recall if we did counting flat objects, but it's... Oh, yes, we did. We did counting flat objects. Alaska, thank you for coming in. How are you today? I hope you're having a good day. Give me 1 second. Okay, so... these are the reasons why we're learning Tei form, and for those of you that have been following along with me, Tei form is extremely important. And if there's anything, just chilling and doing your homework at the same time, nice. If you're planning on following along with the Japanese too, remember Tei form is one of the. It's like you're going to extremely need Tei form. So we had multiple verbs. I've separated them from our u and our ru verbs. So we have, I'm going to go over these quickly. We have asobu, isogu, kaesu, kesu, shinu, suwaru, tatsu, tabaku o su, tsukau, tetsudau, hairu. That's not heiru, it's hairu. Motsu, yasumu. And then for our ru verbs, we have akeru, oshieru, oriru, kairiru, shimeru, tsukeru, denwa o kakeru, or sometimes referred to as denwa suru, and wasureru, to forget. Feel free to take your time to study these. Let me know if the music's too loud, because it's kind of loud in my ear, actually. There we go. I'll just reduce it just a little bit. I start. Konbanwa, konnichiwa, konbanwa. Okay, so if I also recommend, even though we're almost done with these lessons, make sure you play around with the vocabulary. If you have a Quizlet, it's free. You can go through these vocabulary words to practice, because you're going to need them, especially for the sentences that we will try to make. So if you don't know how to say these, you can always click on flashcards here. And Google or Siri or whoever will easily say these for you.
Slowly.
So this one, like yukkuri.
Yukkuri. Yukkuri.
You use Anki. Anki's a good one too. But there are really 51 vocabulary words, and that sounds like a lot, but truth be told, we used all of them. So that's vocabulary. We talked about kanji, and then te form. Now, when it comes to our ru verbs, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new ru verbs. Ru verbs are very easy with te form. You just replace that final ru with te. You replace ru with te. So, for example, taberu, to eat, turns to tabete. Akeru, to open, turns to akete. And then kariru, to borrow? Yes, to borrow turns into karite. Now, u verbs are where it can get pretty confusing. So u verbs, depending on how they end, like u verbs ending with u, su, and ru, the hidden ru verbs, you're going to replace it with te. So instead of tatsu turns to tatte, skau to skatte, and suwaru to suwatte. Notice that that's a double TTE. We double that consonant by using chisai su, or small su, followed by te. Again, tatte. Instead of tate, it's tatte. Skatte. Instead of skatte, it's skatte. And then suwatte. Now, u verbs ending with mu, bu, or nu, you replace that final mu, bu, nu with nde. As a non-ex welcome in. Konbanwa. So, yasumu to yasunde, asobu to asonde, and shinu to shinde. And I've highlighted these so that in the notes so that you guys can see them. For those of you that are new, in fact, let me do this now so you guys, for those of you that are new, can follow along. I'll put exclamation point Discord, which will take you to my personal Discord server. When you're in the server, it will first ask you to agree to the rules. I have some very generic rules, so nothing too bad. And once you agree, you will select it here with I should erase this one. With Jack Love. Once you agree, it will open up all the channels. Then go to go to Role Selector. In Role Selector, if you want access to Japanese channel, react here at the bottom with Jack Sip, and it'll open these resources here. In the Japanese channel, you'll find the notes for each chapter. We are currently working on our last chapter, Chapter 6, for Japanese 1. At the very top, you will also find the YouTube playlist, and clicking here will show you all the lessons we have had since the beginning of my online Twitch Japanese lessons. We are currently on session 27, and all this has been updated. There's plenty in here. Any questions? Feel free to ask me, and I'll try to help out. It's been 3 weeks, and I know this hiragana. A, I, U, E, O, kakiku kekko, sashisu sesso, tachitsu teto, nani nu nen no, hahifu heho. Yeah, good. That is really good for 3 weeks. I usually give my students a month, and they wouldn't have learned that much by this point. That's really good. Good job. Ice Charge, I'm really happy for you. I'm glad that you've been sticking with it and you've been practicing. Where was I? Oh, yes. I was talking about te form. So I'll review this again. U verbs ending with mu, bu, or nu. We replace that final sound, hiragana with nde. So again, yasumu to yasunde, asobu to asonde, and shinu to shinde. Now, u verbs ending with ku. We replace that ku with ite. So, example, kaku, to write, to kaite. Kiku, to listen to, turns into kiite. There is one exception, and that is our verb iku, which means to go. Iku is secretly an irregular verb, guys. It was hiding there all along. Iku does not turn to iite. Instead, it follows the same rule as urutsu, where you replace that final ku with de. So iku turns to ite. So it basically follows the same rule as this one. This is very important because this is a very common verb that's used in Japanese. So knowing that this has a special rule or an exception is very important. So iku to itte. Iku is irregular, it needs more fiber. Yes, Kitsuneko-san, it needs more fiber. Maybe, wait, I would say maybe it needs to eat more rice, but I've recently learned that rice does not really have fiber. Unless you have brown rice, and it has some. If you can even digest it. Kitsuneko-san, o genki desu ne? O genki desu ka? Alright, very similar to our u verbs ending with ku. Our u verbs ending with gu will get ide instead. So we replace that final gu with ide. We have isogu, which turns to isoide. This one used a lot, like hurry up, isoide, 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 isoide. It basically hurry up. And then oyogu, to swim, turns to oyoide. Oyogu to oyoide. Yutsuneko-san, I don't know if, how recently you came in. I was saying that I probably have 2 more lessons left, including this one. So I may have only 2 lessons of Japanese 1. I know 0 vocab, but a bit of hiragana. Well, once you know the hiragana, you can start reading the vocabulary. So that's a good start. Our u verbs ending with su. We replace that final su with shite. Now please remember, this is shite. Shite. Not shite or shit. We're not doing this in English. Shite. So hanasu to hanashite. Replace that final su with shite. Kaesu to kaeshite. And kesu with keshite. Now our irregular verb suru will turn to shite, just like this one. And kuru turns to kite. There is a very big difference between stem form and te form. Stem form is what we use to make our mas, masen verbs. We won't be using that again for a while. Finishing up JPN 1 is exciting. I want to learn more things. But stem form, like tabemasu, the stem for taberu is tabe. The stem for kikimasu is kiki. Like verbs like nomimasu, the stem is nomi. We will be using those again much later on. Ganban konnichiwa? Kanban konbanwa. Oh, you're trying to say konbanwa and konnichiwa. Alright, so today, our main goal is to learn how we're going to use our te form to make polite requests and to give and ask for permission. So we're going to first focus on making polite requests. And this is actually pretty easy once you know your te form. So, まず、今日は何日何曜日何月ですか? We'll start with today's date. 今日は何月、何年何月何日何曜日ですか? What is today's date? 日本語で何ですか? What is today's date? This is something we do every day. Try your best. What is today's date? I see there's someone else here too. Who is it? Anonymous jackalope. Jackalope. What an interesting animal to pick. If I don't get any answers, I will put in an answer shortly. 今日は何年何月何日何曜日ですか? I'll start with today's year. Or, I'll start with the year, so I'll make this a little bit larger too. So, 今日は2021年? 今日は2021年5月 Now, I typed 10 with Nichi only because I wanted the symbol. But how do we say this date? Remember, this was actually one of the earlier things we learned. Who remembers? How do we say the 10th day of the month? How do we say the 10th day of the month? Because it's not 10 nichi. 10 is 10. But because we're counting days, there's a special way of counting this. Ju is a good guess, though. That is the number 10. Remember, for the 10th, and I'll do this in hiragana, ni sen, ni ju, ichinen for our year. Then we have gogatsu for our month. Then toka for the 10th day. It's actually going to be toka. I believe I spelled that one correctly. Toka. Because I know the spelling was a little weird, and I was always thrown off by it, but toka. So here we have, I'll highlight these. We have our year. We have our month. Every time I say Nietzsche, my subtitles talk about Nietzsche. Is that German? And then Toka. So 今日は何曜日ですか? 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 水曜日ですか? 月曜日ですか? 日曜日ですか? 金曜日かな? The other day I found out I have to learn even more characters because of the ones with the slashes. I'm learning 2 hiragana. Yeah, but you kind of are. The nihilist philosopher. Oh man. Hi, as in as 今日は月曜日です. Kanji de. Remember, we actually learned the kanji for this, so I'm gonna put it in kanji. Nande. Getsuyobi. So we actually learned this kanji for the weekday. Getsuyobi. It is Getsuyobi for Monday. Very good. So, first, we're going to be using te form to make polite request. So, let's make this bigger. Making polite requests in Japanese. And it's actually really simple once you understand how to use the format. So basically what this turns into is please do blank for me. Like please do blank for me. So making a polite request. And it basically means please do blank for me. In order to do this, so in order to make a request, use this frame. So we're going to use this frame, and it's really, really easy. You're going, here, let me center these. You're going to use te form of the verb, and then add kudasai. So you use the te form of the verb plus kudasai. I'm never going to speak Japanese, but I want to read Japanese, which is different for most people and a lot harder. Eventually you may find out that you will use both ice charge. Let's see, I'll do this in yellow. And then here, add kudasai. So you need the te form of the verb plus kudasai. And that's basically it. So in order to do this, you must know your te form. So let's do some practice together. So we're gonna turn these verbs into polite requests. I was just about to do that. So, taberu. And Asanana's already did this. Remember, we actually learned the kanji for taberu, so I would like you to start, if you can, try to use the kanji for it. That is one of the kanji we learned this chapter. So taberu, which means to eat. We want to say, please eat for me. Or please eat. And since you already put the answer, this will be tabete kudasai. Oh, and I said we could use kanji, and I didn't even use the kanji. Tabete kudasai. There we go. Eventually, you can use tabete kudasai. For kudasai, there is kanji for it, but we haven't. Actually, we have learned the kanji, but I don't really want it to confuse you just yet. Yeah, we're not gonna use the kanji for it just yet. So taberu, miru, to look at. Did we learn the kanji for this one yet? この漢字を習いますかな? まだ? はい、まだ習ってない. We have not yet learned this kanji. Why have we not learned this kanji? Maybe did we? I don't recall. Wait, yes, we did. This was a chapter, I believe a chapter 5 kanji. Yes, we did. We learned this in chapter 5. Okay, so miru. Turn this into a polite request. Miru, please like to look at. Please look at this for me, or please watch this for me. And while you guys are doing that, I need to check on something real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Alright, so miru, we have in Mortal Wi-Fi, we have mite kudasai. So mite kudasai. Mite kudasai. Taberu, and I'll put the definitions for you guys, which means to eat. Which turns into please eat. And I'm gonna leave dot to that because like please eat what something. Miru means to watch or to see, depending on what you want to say. So this one will turn into please look at or please watch. We'll say please look at for now. So if I said sono eiga o mite kudasai, sono eiga o mite kudasai. Remember eiga for movie. Sono eiga o mite kudasai. What would that mean? その映画を見てください. その映画を見てください. その映画, yes, to look at or to watch. その映画を見てください. And I'll type that in chat actually. Kanji. No kanji. Yamenasai. What would that mean? Sono eiga o mite kudasai. Oh, this is chapter 6 of the beginner section. Trust me, it definitely gets harder. How about this? I'll put the link to the YouTube playlist, since we're technically at the end of Japanese 1. So if you would like, you could always go back to the beginning from our first lessons to catch up. And I think the break that I'm about to take will give other people plenty of opportunity to try to do that. Alright, sono eiga o mite kudasai would mean please watch that movie. Please. Please watch that movie. Notice that all of these have the phrase, the word please in them. This is why Japanese is considered pretty polite. Try this one. Benkyou suru. Benkyou suru, which means to study. What would this be in Tei form? Benkyou suru. Benkyou suru in Tei form. This one you may need to check up. If you're in the notes, you may need to observe the rule for suru here at the top. Benkyou suru in Tei form. To make a polite request. Please study. Hai, benkyou shite kudasai. Benkyou shite kudasai. So this would be benkyou shite kudasai. Wow, that takes a lot of space. Benkyou shite kudasai. To study. So for example, Nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. Please study Japanese. Nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. Let's do one. We've been doing ru verbs. We did one irregular. I do want to try another one. Let's try number 4. This one will be here. Let me bold this so that we can see the differences. Let's do isogu. Isogu. Wait, you guys don't know the kanji yet. Isogu, which means to hurry. So isogu. How would I turn this into Tei form? How would I turn this to please hurry? How would I write this as please hurry? H charge. How would you write non? You would type N-A, then N-N, like that, so that you can type it in hiragana. Na-n. Isoide kudasai. That is correct. Isoide kudasai. Isoide kudasai. And that is please hurry. Please hurry. This is please study. In fact, this is one I use a lot. I will always use this one. Benkyou shite kudasai. Eventually it turns to benkyou shita hou ga ii desu yo. Or benkyou shinasai. Depending on how many times I have to say it. There you go. Nan desu ka? I have a cat on my lap now and she's so comfortable and warm. I forget, I don't know how to say lap in Japanese. Neko ga imasu kedo. Alright, so those are practice, like typing it in. Now let's try this in example sentences. Translate these sentences. So we'll do number 5. I'm actually taking these sentences from the Kyokusho kara. These are from the textbook. Let me see if I can find them. You have to double the N to write N because it doesn't know if you're writing. Yes, that's correct. Alright, cat, I apologize. Alright, so for this one, speaking of Kyokasho, listen, what is this? Because I'm using new vocabulary for this one. So, Kyokasho no Teipu o kiite kudasai. Now there's some new words here. Kyokasho is one of our new vocabulary words. I don't know if this was chapter 6. I think this was more of a chapter 5 word. Who remembers? What is Kyokasho? Kyokasho. Kyokasho. In fact, I'm gonna replace Teipu because I don't think anyone would know this. Teipu. I don't think that works either. Let me see. CD. What did I put here? Let me check the vocabulary. Because like everyone's gonna be like, what's a tape? What's a tape? What did they use? Did they use? I think they used CD. Those are verbs. They don't even use the word. Well, I'll use the example for now. This is a very old example. Oh my goodness. Kyokasho. So kyokasho is textbook. Oops. So kyokasho is textbook. Even you guys are like, what's a CD? And teipu is tape. Now, this is like a cassette tape kind of thing. This is an old example. I am aging myself. So what does this sentence mean in English? 教科書のテープを聞いてください。教科書のテープを聞いてください。What's a CD? Oh my goodness. Should I try to learn a little kanji or just stick with the kana? For the beginning, Ice Charge, I'd say stick with hiragana. Stick with the kana first. Once you're more comfortable with the kana, then start moving into kanji. Like with my lessons, we do hiragana katakana only until chapter 3, which is when we start introducing some kanji. S9, that is correct. Please listen to the textbook tape. So please listen to the textbook tape. Nowadays, that would be like the textbook audio or the textbook examples or something. So for this one, let's say... Sumimasen. You don't know that word. Here, let's try this one. You don't know the kanji. Yukkuri hanashite kudasai. Yukkuri hanashite kudasai. Sumimasen, yukkuri hanashite kudasai. Yukkuri hanashite kudasai. And yukkuri is actually a new word for the beginning. Yes, it could mean excuse me. Actually, sorry, hold on. Yukkuri hanashite kudasai. So sumimasen, it could be excuse me. It could also mean what instead of excuse me. Sumimasen has two meanings. Although it's more like excuse me. What's the other meaning for sumimasen? Excuse me. Very similar to gomen nasai. Yeah, it's more like excuse me or I'm sorry. But between these, it can mean either or, but between these, it's more like an excuse me. So it leans more this way. And Immortal White Fox, you were correct. Please speak slower. Or please speak slowly. Yukkuri for slowly. In fact, like I said, that's one of our new vocabulary words. I think it's one of the last ones. Here it is. Yukkuri, slowly. It could also mean leisurely or unhurriedly. So, sumimasen, yukkuri hanashite kudasai. Please speak slowly. Usually, it'd be more like itte kudasai, but we haven't learned the word to speak. Or to say, sorry. Yukkuri itte kudasai. Could you say it slowly? Versus hanashite kudasai, would you speak slowly? So, sumimasen, yukkuri hanashite kudasai. And then we'll do one more example. This is like one of my favorites. Let's try this in reverse. translate into Japanese. So number 7. We'll start with this. Let's say, please study Japanese language. Here we go. Please study Japanese language. How would you say this? Please study the Japanese language. What is a Japanese language? And then to study. We had the word to study already. It was up here. To study. We're just using it in a sentence now. How would we say, please study Japanese? 日本語を勉強してください。はい、日本語を勉強してください。So we actually know the kanji for nihon. We haven't learned go just yet. Nihongo o, we're using the object particle because the Japanese is what we are studying. Nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. Nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. Different go, different kanji for it. That kanji, the one you use, this is for like later or after.
What?
For language, it's this one. So please study the Japanese. Nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. Now you could also add more to this, like study more Japanese. Motto nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. Please study more Japanese. Let's try this one. Please eat dinner at home. There are many things there's actually a few special things happening in this one. We have please eat dinner and at home. Let's see if you guys remember your vocabulary. What is home? We'll start with home. What is home in Japanese? Home. Specifically your own home. You can use ie. We can use ie. We use ie. You could also use uchi. What is dinner in Japanese? I'll give you a hint. It's if we cancel culture Gohan from DBZ. What is dinner in Japanese? Cancel culture Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. If you guys don't get it soon, I'll give it to you. Or I'll give you a hint. No, I'll just give it to you because I'm actually going longer than I thought I would. Gohan is rice. Now make it dinner. The Yama gets trained to convert kanji by what you use more, so because you haven't used it much, it doesn't know what to put. So if we're going to cancel Gohan because he does something stupid, we're going to ban him. But in Japanese, Bangohan is dinner. I hope you guys like my analogy. So Bangohan is dinner. So please eat dinner at home. How would we say this in Japanese? Start with at home. Remember your particles. What particle do you use? The DBZ will help me remember Gohan. Yes. Start with at home for this sentence. At home. We do need particle de for that's where it's happening. Please eat dinner at home. Remember, home is ie and dinner is bangohan. So how would we make this sentence? Again, to help you guys out, start with the at home part first. 家で晩ご飯を食べてください. Correct. So we will start with 家で晩ご飯を食べて漢字ください. 家で晩ご飯を食べてください. Good. Don't forget the period though. Don't forget to end your sentence. All right, so we translated to English 2 sentences, and then we created 2 sentences from English to Japanese. So let's say these slowly together. So our first one, 教科書の I erased it. 教科書のテープを聞いてください. 教科書のテープを聞いてください. And more naturally, 教科書のテープを聞いてください. そして6番, I'll do it slowly twice, and then the third time I'll do it naturally. すみません. ゆっくり話してください. すみません. ゆっくり話してください. そして最後, すみません. ゆっくり話してください. And then translating into English to Japanese, we'll just practice repeating the Japanese here. So our first one. 日本語を勉強してください. 日本語を勉強してください. そして最後、日本語を勉強してください. And then our final example, 8番. 家で晩ご飯を食べてください. 家で晩ご飯を食べてください. I hear my Roomba is stuck to a wall and I may have to move it in a moment. And 最後、家で晩ご飯を食べてください. And this is how you make a polite request in Japanese. So remember, in order to do this, you take the te form of the verb and you add kudasai to it at the very end. There is something important to know. And I'll put this in a box we'll put it in red. Or the box disappears. Here we go. So, when speaking with friends or with close family, welcome in. You can omit, or that means, or not use, kudasai. Bangohan kudasai. In that case, that means something different. Ice charge. That would mean give me dinner, versus please eat dinner. Bangohan kudasai. Please give me dinner. You need the te form of the verb in order to make it a polite request. So again, when speaking with friends or with close family, you can omit kudasai and it will mean the same thing to make your request. What is te form? Te form is another way that we conjugate our verbs in Japanese. That is probably the most important thing to learn at the end of the Japanese 1 for beginners. Te form is important to know for later on. We learned te form last week. Or we started to learn te form last week. Woobly, I see that hydrate. I will drink some tea right now. Thank you kindly. And for that posture check, I almost just want to grab my chirp wheel and crack my back. So again, when speaking with friends or with close family, you can omit, that means not use, kudasai to make your request. So for example, if you're with a friend and you wanted to tell them please study Japanese, you could just say Nihongo o benkyou shite instead of Nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. Again, and this is important when speaking with friends, I'm going to highlight friends, or with close family. You can't do this with strangers. Now, if you were like talking to a classmate that is your friend, you could just say Nihongo wo benkyou shite. But if you were talking to like say like someone you were asked to tutor and they're not a friend, it may be better to be like Nihongo wo benkyou shite kudasai, because they're not your friend. Or if you're talking to senpai because you look up to them, you would definitely use kudasai. Nihongo wo benkyou shite kudasai. Actually, it would be more like Nihongo wo oshiete kudasai in that case. Oshiete, please teach me. Any questions on how to make a polite request in Japanese? Shitsumon ga arimasu ka? Do you have questions? If you want someone to study Japanese and Japanese, wouldn't they already know it? Yes. In this case, yes. This would be more of a, like, you're talking to a classmate who is just learning Japanese kind of thing. Would you use onegai shimasu in the case of asking someone to study? Onegai shimasu is more like... How would I say this? It's more of a very definite please. Whereas, like, this is more like benkyou shite kudasai. It's more like the teacher is telling the student, please study. Nihongo wo benkyou shite kudasai. Please study for me. You do this for your grade. Nihongo wo benkyou shite kudasai. Although, more than likely, the teacher may use benkyou shinasai, which is more scolding. Like, it will be good for you, kind of thing. I would like to say that please do this for me. Not necessarily for me. In fact, I actually don't like how the book uses this. In fact, I'm probably gonna let's do this. Please do blank. That may make it sound better. Please do blank. Not necessarily for me. I don't know why they did that. If it was gonna be like for me, there's actually something else you would put there instead. But like onegai shimasu is more like formal request. Like kono bangohan o tabete kudasai. Onegai shimasu. Like you maybe use most. Like please eat this. I humbly ask of you, kind of thing. Onegai shimasu. Be right back in Japanese. Ittekimasu. Ittekimasu. Be right back, or I'm leaving for a little bit. I'll be back. Ittekimasu. Like ittekimasu. And when you come back, you say tadaima. Since you're leaving, I say itterashai. Alright, I guess we'll go to the next one. Which is giving... I don't want this underlined. Giving permission... How do I do this? Giving / asking permission, and the other one is denying permission. Maybe not denying permission, but forbidding someone. Ittekimasu. Remember, in Japanese, E is actually the letter I in English. It's actually the letter I in many languages. Alright, so asking permission, asking and giving permission versus forbidding something from somebody. So both of these are still going to use te form. Let's start with asking for permission. So basically this means, may I do something? And in order to do this, we're going to need two parts again. Boku no Nihongo wa heta desu. Ittekimasu. You're close. You're really close though. So just like I said before, everything from this point forward is going to need te form of the verb. So, of course, like I said, te form of the verb. What color did I use? I use that. And then in order to ask for permission, like may I, you're going to add mo ii desu ka? Mo ii desu ka? So again, te form plus moi desu ka? To do it, you type in ITTE. Actually, you would just type it like that. Ittekimasu. So for asking permission, may I blank? You use the te form of the verb and add mo ii desu ka? Jesse, welcome in. Day has been weird. Mine has been pretty normal. Alright, so let's try using this. Iku. What? Iku. I believe we learned the kanji for this one, which means to go. How would I turn this into asking for permission? May I go? And this one's actually very important because you will be using this one. This one's used a lot. May I go someplace? How would we turn iku, to go, to ask for permission? Remember, we need the te form of the verb, and then we add mo ii desu ka? And for those of you that are in the notes, you feel free to scroll up if you need to. You don't need to necessarily know this on the spot. You can always look back up and review. You're allowed to do that. Itte mo ii desu ka? That is correct. So, itte mo ii desu ka? God, that is so weird in Romanji. Itte mo ii desu ka? Which means, may I go? And the reason why I'm doing that, I mean, the question mark's okay. The ka basically is the question mark. The reason why I wanted to do this first is because you're always going to see this with toire ni itte mo ii desu ka? Which means what in English? Toire ni itte mo ii desu ka? And this is used a lot in school. It's one of the first things I taught my kids to say. Toire ni itte mo ii desu ka? Toire ni itte mo ii desu ka? Can I go to the... What is toire? It actually sounds like the English word. Toire. Yes, may I go to the restroom? Toilet or toilet. May I go to the restroom? Bath, toilet. And this is a question. There we go. Toire ni itte mo ii desu ka? Toire ni itte mo ii desu ka? May I go to the restroom? May I use the restroom? And giving permission is actually very simple. I could basically say, Hai, itte mo ii desu yo? Hai, itte mo ii desu. And you could add yo if you want. Hai, itte mo ii desu. Or hai, itte mo ii desu yo. Which means yes. Yes, you may go. So basically, to give permission, just take out ka, and you'll be okay. So may I use the restroom? トイレに行ってもいいですか？はい、行ってもいいですよ。Let's do another example. Let's see. I want to use a new vocabulary because I was going to use taberu again. Here we go. No, you can't go. We will get to that next. That would be basically forbidding something. We'll get to that next. How do you say I'm back in Japanese? Tadaima. That's okay, Jesse. I hope you have a better night. I hope you feel better. Ice Charge, to say I'm back, it's Tadaima. 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 So for the next one, we're gonna use Scout. Scout. Oops. How would I turn, which means to use. How would I turn this into a, asking for permission? How would I change this to ask for permission to use something? Scout. Notice it ends with oo, so this is an oo verb. What are the rules for oo verbs ending with oo? Scout. Scout turns into what? Hey, 使ってもいいですか? Or 使って. So, yes. 使ってもいいですか? Or in which case it would be, let's see. You guys don't know the kanji for that yet. 使ってもいいですか? And for this we could say, computer を使ってもいいですか? What would that mean? Computer を使ってもいいですか? Yes, may I use the computer? May I use the computer? For now, let's give permission. How would we give permission? How would we say yes when you give permission? You can follow this example here. May I use the computer? Notice for this one, はい、行ってもいいですよ or 行ってもいいです. How would you say, yes, you may use the computer? Study. 今日はテストをしたり. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. クラスに行ったりしました. You went to class and you had a test. はい、コンピューターを使ってもいいですよ. Yes, that is correct, Asonomics. So, はい。コンピューターを使ってもいいです. And again, you could use yo if you want to. Hey, computer を使ってもいいですよ. I think this one's pretty simple. Do you guys any questions on how to do this? Yeah, computer を because you're using computer を使ってもいいですよ. You mean new grammar? 勉強したり like 週末に日本語を勉強したり映画を見たりしました. So for asking and giving permission, any questions? It basically follows the same thing, but when you give permission, you don't use ka. In fact, we could say just replace ka with yo to make it easier. Like, ha, itte mo ii desu yo. Yes, you have permission. And I'm informing you that you have permission. Alright, Ice Charge. See you later. Thank you for hopping in. And now the fun part. Forbidding someone. And this is the last thing we'll learn today. Basically, this means you cannot do this, or you're not allowed to. So this is basically like, you may not do something. You may not, or you can't. And for this, I wonder if this has changed recently. In fact, let me check the new textbook. I don't know if this is new. Let's see. Kindle. Because I have the old way, and I actually use the old way, but I want to make sure if this, I want to see if this has changed recently. Nope, it's still the same. You're close. You're close. Nomanaide. You have different nomanaide. But for this one, please be aware. This is a strong forbidding. It may be too harsh unless coming from a place of authority. And this is more like teacher figure. As an example. So like teacher figure, principal. Your boss. Parents. Yes. So this is more like you may not do this. It's a very strong, you will not say this with friends. It would be considered too harsh, almost like you're being condescending or something, like you're patronizing them. But in this case, this will be something more of me using it for students kind of thing. But we're learning this because you at least need to know what it is kind of thing. So just like before, what do you think the first part's gonna need? If the first part 2 require te form, what do you think this will also require at first? This must also require te form. And then we add wa ikemasen. And notice that this is pronounced as wa ikemasen. Let's use nomu for to drink. How would we say you're not allowed to drink this? How would we say you're not allowed to drink this? We need the te form with wa ikemasen. What is our te form of nomu? Let's start there. Te form of nomu. I actually thought we'd move a lot faster today. I'm kind of glad that we have slowed down. これは飲んではいけません。パーティーに行ってはいけません。Yes. So for this one, we use nonde. We start with nonde for our te form. And we're using the kanji because we did learn nonde this chapter. Nonde wa ikemasen. Nonde wa ikemasen. And that translates as you can't drink this. You're not allowed to drink this. You are forbidden from drinking this. So like I could say Judokusai no seito gakusei. We use gakusei. Oh, we learned this. We learned this kanji. Judokusai no gakusei, 16-year-old students wa biru o nonde wa ikemasen. Oh, this looks nice. We can use kanji for this one. Kitsune, could I just say Judokusai say gakusei, or do I need that no? Judokusai no sei gakusei. I guess that works. Sometimes I kind of want to just say Judokusai gakusei. I guess I need that no. Since it's a noun connecting to a noun. Yeah, I do. Alright, what does this mean? Judokusai no gakusei wa biiru o nonde wa ikemasen. Let's break this up here. Oh, sorry. 16歳はビールを飲んではいけません。What is Judokusai, first of all? Judokusai. Judokusai. This is actually one of the first things we learned, actually. Judokusai. 16 what? 16 what? Yes, 16-year-old. So we have 16-year-old. What is gakusei? In fact, our kanji, we learned both of these already. Gaku, learning. Sei, birth. Gakusei. School student, correct. So 16-year-old school students. And then, so Judokusai no gakusei wa, what does this mean now? Biiru o nonde wa ikemasen. Biiru o nonde wa ikemasen. Biiru o nonde wa ikemasen. Biiru. It is forbidden to drink beer. So how would we say that? 16-year-old students, it is forbidden to drink beer. So how would we say that? How would we say that in English? 16-year-old students may not. For 16-year-old students, it's forbidden to drink beer. We could say that. 16-year-old students, let's say, are forbidden from drinking beer. 16歳の学生はビールを飲んではいけません. Y'all too young to drink. It's correct. Now, even this in English, like 16-year-old students are forbidden from drinking beer. It even sounds kind of harsh. Like, this sounds like something you would hear a principal or a teacher or maybe even a cop say. And that's actually how strong this wa ikemasen is supposed to come out. Or even a judge, correct? Yeah. That's why this is a very strong refusal, a very strong forbidding. So I think this is a very good example of how strong that this can be. Let's see. What other verbs do we have? I mean, you could say, like, you don't have permission to die. Shinde wa ikemasen. Like, there are some other sentences I want us to try, but they're kind of difficult without other grammar that we haven't learned just yet. But any questions on how to forbid someone, or when you hear this, what it means? Any questions on this? 質問がありますか? I will be putting practice problems for these on the Discord later. I did do the Tay-form practice problems, and I see... actually, who did them? I see Jesse practice, and so did Foxes. Foxes admitted that they had to use the Tay-form song to learn this. Remember, I don't know the Tay-form song Foxes is talking about, or the one that Kitsuneko-san has learned. I created my own for my students to make it more mainstream. Like for my Ru verse, remember, replace Ru with Te. Ru with Te, do 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 do. Ru with Te, do do do. Yes, that's how I did it. A lot of you enjoyed that in the last lesson. One of my older students was like, no! Astronautics, like, yay! Alright guys, that's actually going to be the end of the lesson for today. We're almost at an hour and a half here. So, I'm actually, I wanted to give direction, like how to give directions, but that's a pretty long lesson. And I may end up having to do that in in another lesson, kind of thing. So next class, we are going to learn how to give explanations, as well as offering help not offering help. Yeah, offering assistance, I suppose. And then both of those are pretty short, so maybe we will do the giving directions on Wednesday for our final class. Thank you guys for coming in. I hope if you have any questions, please let me know. Remember, the Discord is available, and I'll put that here, if you would like to jump in and try to learn some more. At this point, let's see who's available to raid out to. Kitsuneko-san, I don't know if you're ready yet. Konbanwa. Sue Jack Sensei. Foxes, we actually just finished the lesson, so I guess let me do a quick review then for a recap. So today we learned how to make a polite request in Japanese. All of these new grammar points require Tay form. So to make a request, a polite request, which means please do blank, we need Tay form, and we add kudasai. So taberu, we said, turns to tabete kudasai for please eat. Miru turns to mite kudasai, please look at. Benkyou suru, to study, turns to benkyou shite kudasai, please study. And then isogu, to isoide kudasai, to please hurry. And so we practice this with these sentences. Kyokasho no teipu wo kiite kudasai. Kyokasho no teipu wo kiite kudasai. Followed by sumimasen, yukkuri hanashite kudasai. Yukkuri hanashite kudasai. Foxes, o genki desu ne. And then we did Nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. Nihongo o benkyou shite kudasai. And then please eat dinner at home. Ie de ban gohan o tabete kudasai. Ie de ban gohan o tabete kudasai. Something to know with polite requests, and this is important. Remember, when you are speaking with friends or with close family, you can omit, which means you can get rid of or not use kudasai to make your request. すみません、今スーパーから帰ってきました。スーパーから? I guess that works. You're returning home from スーパー。スーパーからうちに帰ってきました。Something, I guess. Now, when giving and asking for permission, we still need the Tay form, but when asking for permission, we need mo ii desu ka? So we turn iku to itte mo ii desu ka to make the question, may I go? And a good example of this was toire ni itte mo ii desu ka? May I use the bathroom? Toire ni itte mo ii desu ka? And to give permission, you can replace that ka with yo. So, hai, itte mo ii desu yo. Or even longer, hai, toire ni itte mo ii desu yo. And then for skau, skatte mo ii desu ka? May I use this? Skatte mo ii desu ka? And in our example, computer o skatte mo ii desu ka? Computer o skatte mo ii desu ka? May I use the computer? Hey, kunenu no welcome, yokoso. Followed by, hai, computer o skatte mo ii desu yo. Computer o skatte mo ii desu yo. Yes, you may use the computer. now forbidding somebody. Remember, and the important thing here is this is a very, very, very strong forbidding or refusal of permission. Internet, please stop buffering. Aw. So with friends, you probably should not use this. We'll learn a more nicer way of telling your friends no. But for now, be aware that this exists. This will be more likely used by like a teacher figure, principal, your boss, maybe even your parents. Like, you may not do this. So again, we need the te form, followed by wa ikemasen. Te form plus wa ikemasen. So nomu, for to drink, we said was nonde wa ikemasen. Nonde wa ikemasen. In our example, Judokusai no gakusei wa biiru o nonde wa ikemasen. Oh, poor Fonzies. I hear my puppy barking. Judokusai no gakusei wa biiru o nonde wa ikemasen. And remember, like, even this in English, 16-year-old students are forbidden from drinking beer. It's just like your parents, like, you are forbidden from going to that party. Or you are forbidden from dating that person. You don't understand me. Or something like that. 俺のことを疲れないよ。分かってないよ。Something like that. Alright, so that's the review of what we learned today. Next class, we will potentially maybe the last class for Japanese 1. We'll go over I'm seeing kanji and I'm having katsuyo ga something you totemasu. Standing something. Kanji's still my weak point, even though I'm trying to review it. Okay, so again, we will be our next class. We will learn how to describe 2 activities, as well. Oh, we didn't learn that. Maybe we'll have 2 more classes, not just 1 more. Okay, so we will learn how to describe 2 activities. We'll learn how to give an explanation, and we'll learn how to offer our assistance to someone else. Thank you guys for coming in. Let's find out who we can raid out to next. Who is available to raid out to? Let's see. I wonder if Kitsuneko has if she has started her stream yet. I hope. I pray. Mada ne. I haven't raided out to her in a while. Mostly because... Oh, wait, no. It said... No.
Oh, Allie's providing free...
Mada ne. Not yet. Oh, I missed the whole session. Yeah, I started at 5 o'clock Pacific. But the YouTube video will be available for you to see. Remember, just go to the YouTube channel. I did update it, so it does have all current 26 lessons. This will be lesson 27. Lesson 28 or lesson 29 will be the last lesson for Japanese 1. And then we start all over with Japanese 2. But that will probably be sometime in June, because I want to take a break. I don't know how long it may take her, so I think I may raid out to someone else in the meantime. So I don't want to rush her thing stuff. So let's see, who dare ni raid shimasu kana? Dare ni raid o shimasu kana? I wonder, it's like, do you guys think my time slot is early or something? I mean, it's kind of late for me, to be honest. Oh, for those of you that like Final Fantasy 14, specifically 14, this Friday is FanFest, which is a big convention that normally happens in person. It was supposed to be in San Diego this year, but because of the COVID, it was canceled and it was moved till this weekend to be online only. Me and a few of my guildies, we will be doing a FanFest stream on Friday, so you're welcome to come in as we completely geek out to hopefully the new expansion that's coming out later this year. I'm so excited for Endwalker. I'm such a Final Fantasy nerd. Alright, so let's see. Rating out. I am technically stalling. Oh well. Let's raid out to... You know what? I haven't raided to Tremor in a long time. Who else is available, though? Biz was still playing. I guess. Oh, he is playing. He's playing Resident Evil 7. He's playing 7? When did he switch? FFBE. Fire. What? FF? Final Fantasy Brave. I do not. Brave X something. I do not, unfortunately. Yes, Endwalker looks amazing, and I'm so excited. I'm already planning on being quote unquote sick for that release week. I'm if I'm lucky and it's exactly how I'm expecting it to be, it will release on like Thanksgiving weekend. And if it does release on Thanksgiving weekend, let's say the Friday before Thanksgiving, that will give me an entire week off without having to use my sick leave. Otherwise, I will be out of school for a week because I am skipping. I'm gonna be playing that shit to the ground. I'm so excited for it. I just wish it wasn't a fall release. Like, I don't want to have to skip work and stuff. All right. Who did I say? We're gonna go to Biz the Bear. Or no, let's go to Tremor. He's playing. I haven't rated out.
Actually, I'm good.
Tremor is a very nice bean. If you guys don't know Tremor, you should. So our raid message is he's playing Elder Scrolls, so we could say trying to think of a punny one. Let's do like hello Skyrim des. Actually, that may be considered offensive. I wanted to say hello Skyrim des, but that would be offensive. We could say. No, we're not going to say that. That sounds weird. Fine, it's simple. Raid from the Tiger's Den. Japanese lessons with heart emotes. So this we're gonna have a very calm, generic raid message for this. So I hope you guys had a good time. We're raiding up to Tremor today. If you are not following Tremor, I strongly recommend you do. He's such a great he's a great one to watch. Thank you guys for coming in. I'll catch you guys later.
Okay, we need to. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Then Jack the Tiger coming in too. Oh, it's Horde. Perfect. They're either. What's up? What's up, Brittany?